So let's go ahead and talk about that Paul Mooney real quick, man.
All right. So if y'all haven't heard, there's a big story out now about Paul Mooney, the famous comedian and black activist. He's a little bit of an activist, but he's very pro-black. I'll give him that. Him and
Sorry, I had to do it.
him and Richard Pryor, the famous comedian, his son Richard Pryor Jr. Supposedly, Paul Mooney had a sexual relationship with him when he was underage. Now, it's interesting because I have to say I never really thought about it, whether or not, but a lot of people are saying they always kind of knew that Paul Mooney was on the gay side. There was a couple of times where I noticed little mannerisms, but I glossed over it because he's so pro-black and the stuff that he talks about hits you so hard, you forget all about, he might have had a little limp wrist or something like that, or he might have just been sitting with his legs crossed, or, but I noticed little stuff, but I never really thought about it. So I still got a lot of respect for him, whether he's gay or not, that's his business, but it's just, it's funny to me how a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I knew he was gay all along, blah, blah, blah. So, but yeah, supposedly Richard Pryor Jr., supposedly got sexually molested by him when he was underage, like back in the early 80s or even before that. Now they asked him about it because he's like in his 50s now. They asked him about it. He basically said something did happen, but he didn't want to go into the details. They was like, so what is your response? How do you feel? And he was just like, I'm done. I don't want to speak about it no more. He basically said, yeah, something did happen. And they asked him like, was it something that you consented to or anything like that? And he was like, how can I consent to that when I was that young? And that's the most that he was willing to say.
Oh, damn.
So he kind of left it at that. Like, how could I consent to something when I was that young? So he basically is admitting it. Richard Pryor, his wife, had like tweeted or posted on her social media about it, saying that, it was true that something happened and that Richard Pryor Jr. did admit to it in front of a crowd of people at some kind of gathering that they had, and talking about she got it on tape. I don't know why you would be taping that, but whatever. And I don't even know why he would come out to a crowd of people like that about it, but whatever. But so yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why now? I mean,
right.
That's, you know what I'm saying?
So basically this all started because a guy who used to be like Richard Pryor's kind of bodyguard, I believe, he did an interview and he brought it up.
So Richard passed away in 2005. Where was his and Paul's relationship at that time?
Well, from JoJo Dancer on, the relationship became fragile.
Okay.
Because Paul Mooney had Richard's son by that time.
Okay.
And he violated. And that's any man, if you violate their children like that. Mm-hmm. So Paul took advantage of the situation. Mm-hmm. And so from there on, whatever Paul Mooney was to Richard, and there was a time that Paul Mooney was Richard's friend. I acknowledge that, which is why the gay community really couldn't say anything they attempted to about Richard, because Paul Mooney was his friend. Mm-hmm. And they laughed. So when Paul did what he did, it was a violation of friendship first, and then my son,
right.
And in some circles, that's supposed to be dealt with. So.
Was there ever a conversation to retaliate against that?
Yes, yeah, of course.
To what extent?
To the extent of Richard didn't want him on the planet no more. He shared it with me, and he said he wanted somebody killed. And Richard, that wasn't his conversation, so I just attribute that he must be high right now. And it's Friday. This is the high day, so it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He's, by Wednesday he'll be straight, because I knew the pattern. And I asked him again, because Richard never spoke like that. And I just said, do you remember what you said to me last week? And he was on it so clear. It was like, okay, it's serious. And so then I asked him, what is it about? He said, $1 million. I want somebody killed. And I was like, damn, I'm not a killer. I'm not that person. But I did give it thought. I know some people some damn where.
Okay.
You know. And the biggest problem with those people would have been you saying $1 million to them, because they would have did it for like 10 grand.
Right.
And so I asked him, what was it about?
And this is your first time hearing about the incident?
This was the first, when he told me the first time, I thought he was high. I just made that high conversation. But because he was so adamant about it, I asked him again that Wednesday. And then he went into detail. And that's when he told me what went on. And he told me who did it. Mm-hmm. And he was hurt by it.
Yeah.
He was hurt because it happened to his son. And he was really hurt, which I don't think Paul Mooney understood, because someone that I took as a friend did that to me.
I think supposedly they might have cleared things up, because Paul Mooney has been seen with Richard Pryor in the later years, in pictures with him. So I don't know if they patched it up or what.
Man, that's kind of funny. But I'm just thinking. I mean, but I was watching Hollywood Shuffle the other day. You know, with that scene when he was, you know, motherfucking Bobby Taylor was up there, and there's like the NCAA is picking it. Yes, that's right. We just filmed it. Bobby Taylor should be removed off of here. We tired of niggas up there getting sweating in the picket field. I forgot what my man said, but the way he said that shit.
Yo, that's classic right there.
Yo,
man.
Hollywood Shuffle, man. Mm-hmm. Y'all should check that out.
Yeah, that's a classic right there. So I definitely recommend that, man. It's a lot of old joints, man. I would recommend anybody go back and see Cooley High. Man, all of that, man. So
a lot of those movies shaped hip hop, man. Mm-hmm. We might need to do a little segment about that, man.
Yeah,
one day, the movies that shaped hip hop.
Yeah, because there's so many of them, man. You got Wild Style, Beat Street. Come on, man. Breaking 2. I mean, it's Tougher Than Leather. Crush Groove. Oh my God. And they, you know, it made me feel good as a kid to see hip hop represented on the big screen. You know what I mean? So, and I met some of those people who were in some of those movies. You know what I mean? So, you know, I remember, you know, there's a kid from Beat Street. He played a kid named Lee in Beat Street, and I saw him in Central Park. Right over in that same area, like where the Central Park 5 thing happened. Mm-hmm. Me and my brother were just hanging out in the park because we was always over there. And we was like, yo, that's Lee from B Street. He didn't really want to talk to us. You know, we tried to go, you know, holler at him, but he just kind of left like, oh, man, I don't want to deal with this right now. So, but it was all good, man. It was just cool that, you know, just seeing him, you know what I mean? Somebody who you just saw on a big movie screen. So, but yeah, what do you think about this whole Paul Mooney thing, man?
Man, like I said, man, I don't really have, I mean, it's kind of fucked up if it's, you know, under the age of consent, but it's like now it's kind of like the Me Too movement now. It's like, if you up there doing that now, like, you coming out about it now. Right. And I can understand really from a man's perspective, because really it's embarrassing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? As far as like a man. You know what I'm saying? Because, especially with another man, because that's so taboo. You know what I'm saying? So, I understand that, why it would take so long. But still, even then, I'm still asking that question. Why are you coming about right now? Especially the climate that we're in. Right. You know.
Yeah, and did you see the video I posted about it? Because the lady who commented on it, she was talking about how some of the dates didn't match up. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. If y'all haven't seen it, go to the Facebook page for Try It Hip Hop Podcast and look for the video I posted about it. It's a YouTuber who commented on it, and she talks about how, you know, crazy it was, but when he gives some of the dates about when things happen and when, you know, some of the dates don't match up. You know what I mean? So, because like he says that it started on a date that was kind of far back, but then he said Richard Pryor found out about it during the time that was like way in the future, and it was like, nah, he would have found out before that. You know, some of the stuff just didn't kind of match up. So judge for yourself, but go check out that video I posted, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So But so yeah, that's a crazy subject, man. I mean, I have to admit, there's been videos and stories about Richard Pryor himself.
Oh, of course. I mean, but
having sex with men.
Yeah, but he's always admitted to that. Yeah. I mean, he said it in his shit. Yeah, you know, sometimes I like to suck mean penis. And he'd be like, you know what I'm saying? But he went ahead and said it because it's like, look, I'd rather, if you're going to find out about it, I'd rather you find out from me. And I can respect that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you like, you know, you hiding it in the media like, well, we caught Richard Pryor up here, you know, fucking, you know, man. Yeah. And Richard be like, yeah, damn right I did. You know what I mean? I was lonely. I ain't had nothing else to do.
I was bored. Hey. So I sucked the dick.
So he needed some milk. I had some cookies. I figured penis my mouth with me.
But you know, I think Richard Pryor attributed a lot of his to drugs and stuff like that. I think, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong, but I think he was just saying basically, hey, you get high, you just do whatever. Yep. So and you know, we all know about the whole him getting set on fire and all of that, which was pretty tragic. But you know, it's happened to the best of them.
Damn, you ain't got no match, do you? I know some of y'all motherfuckers talking about what's this? Right. Richard Pryor running down the street. That shit was hilarious. Richard Pryor running down the street.
Yo, comedy, man. I love comedy, man. You gotta love it. But and I will say this though, also Richard Pryor Jr.'s son, the one this is all about, he is actually gay. So I don't know if he's trying to protect Paul Mooney to a certain degree or what, or if he's trying to not to put his business out there, but he is openly gay. So you know, maybe that kind of thing. I don't know how that works.
Oh man, I can imagine that pep talk. Right. Son, you had sex? Yeah.
So did I.
It went in your mouth? It's good, boy.
just don't do drugs while you do it.
Don't do drugs while you do it. If you're going to be gay, just be gay. You know?
But
it's horrible, Richard Pryor. Right? Just horrible.
But you know, much respect to Richard Pryor. We still, you know, love him. He's one of the original kings of comedy.
Yes, sir. I clap that.
Yeah, man.
And now, since we segued to speaking of comedy, this man, he's already great. I think he's probably on his way being one of the greatest of all time. I know everybody's talking about the special. A lot of people, a lot of the motherfuckers from the liberal side and all that shit trying to shut it down. First of all, let's clap it up for Mr. Motherfucking Dave Chappelle!
Yeah, man.
All right. So did you get it?
Yeah, he did it in this thing.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So I went ahead. He had a birthday. What was it? When was his birthday again?
In August. I forget the date, but
yeah. And it was just that special. I think it was out around that time.
Right. About the
same time. Yeah. So when you were talking about it, I was like, yeah, you know, he just released a special. And so I watched it, but you know, I was up late.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I have to, you know, I got to go to bed or whatnot. And I didn't really get the chance to really take it in.
Right.
I watched it again, man. Even from the beginning.
Yeah.
The beginning was crazy. Motherfucker opened up with a suicide joke.
Right.
Who the fuck does that shit?
And it's so the setup that leads you into the joke is so good, man, because he'll have you, you know, wondering how's this going with this, and the next thing you know, he ties it all in at the end, and you're like, oh shit, this dude is hilarious. So, you know, I love that, man, because he talked about Anthony Bourdain, you know, who committed suicide not too long ago, and how his life was so perfect in a lot of people's eyes because he got to travel the country, eating fucking delicious meals and shit, and just critiquing meals, and you know, just most people would love to travel the world, just getting great food and shit like that, and he still killed himself. And then he talked about a friend of his who, you know, went from the hood to an Ivy League school, you know, worked hard as hell and got married, and things wind up not working out. He got married, but then got divorced very quickly. And then he said the dude had such a good trajectory though, but next thing you know, after a bunch of years, he goes back to the hood, not to the hood, but to his old neighborhood, and he sees the guy working at a Foot Locker. He was like, yeah, he was the manager. Nigga had the whole referee suit on and all. And when he said that shit, I was dying, yo, because them niggas do be looking like referees and shit. But he was like, but you know what? He said the point of the whole story is it never occurred to this nigga to commit suicide. He went through all this shit and fell down to working in Foot Locker from an Ivy League school, and it never occurred to him to commit suicide. So, yo, that shit was funny as hell to me, man. But yeah, y'all really need to go check that out. It is a Netflix special. It's called Sticks and Stones.
Oh man, I was gonna say what he said about the crack, the heroin epidemic.
Man,
that shit was hilarious. Yo, when he said, yeah, so yeah, I was looking at this like y'all whites was looking at us at the crack epidemic. That's why I don't care neither. And I'm just paraphrasing, but right. That shit was hilarious.
He said he was walking around saying, he said, why these white people look so sleepy? Just
nodding out. Yo, that shit crazy. He said,
them motherfuckers just heroined out, boy.
That shit's crazy, man. Like, I remember like I think it was a Monday, man. I was out, doing my thing and whatnot in High Point. And man, it was 12 o'clock traffic, man. This car, it was like a blue car. I'll never forget a blue car.
Okay.
It was sitting out there in the traffic or whatnot, in the intersection.
Yeah.
Just sat out there, didn't move. The light was green, but it didn't move. So everybody honking the horn like, what the fuck, blah, blah, blah. And then, so I go past it. I don't pay no mind. I don't think nothing about it. On the news, find out that person fucking OD'd in the car.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Damn. That heroin, man.
Crazy, man.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that shit crazy, man. So
people think it's a joke, man. Oh, they think, I got it under control. I'm not bad like the other ones.
Yeah.
Nah,
you bad like the other one.
Right.
And another one.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what it is.
There's no control in that stuff, man.
Nah,
so stay off that shit, man.
Yeah, stay off the crack. Right. Don't do the heroin. Don't fucking do lean. Don't do that meth shit. If you're gonna smoke some weed. Exactly. I'm at least gonna condone that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're gonna do something, like, do something that, you're gonna drive 7 miles per hour and just fucking get like a heartburn from eating all them goddamn Cheetos. Don't do everything else.
Right. I wouldn't even recommend smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, don't smoke cigarettes. Yeah, don't do this shit.
Them shits is worse than some of these drugs out here, man.
Yep.
And they legal.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
See, that's the thing. I think when they make marijuana legal in certain places, I think what they're going to do is, I don't mean to, go off the subject, but what they're going to do is they're going to take those and they're going to do it like cigarettes. They're going to put all those additives in there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to make it, they're not going to make it pure. They're not going to do that. They're going to make sure that you get hooked to it. And then they're going to be like, oh, marijuana is so bad. And then they'll have those fucking campaigns like Truth. And remember all that shit back in the day? Exactly. Like Truth and all that other shit. And that's like with tobacco. Tobacco, I don't think itself is bad.
Right.
Per se. It's just what they put in it.
Shit they put in there. The nicotine and all them additives and shit like that. So, it is what it is, man, but just don't do drugs, man. That's all I can say. But yeah, so, the Dave Chappelle comedy is called Sticks and Stones, and it's so on it, man. He speaks the truth with an additive of comedy, you know what I mean? Because he really puts the truth out there, and he's not afraid to say shit. You know what I mean? That's what I like about him, because he's just like, everybody's so touchy-feely and offended by everything, and I don't give a fuck.
And see, that's the thing, man. That's what he said about his last special. You know what I'm saying? That people really need to start speaking now. And there's nothing wrong, for the LGBTQ community. Look, if you're doing your thing, that's fine. But at the same time, you can't just push, stuff down people's neck and stuff, and you can't just hide behind the shield of, oh, I'm gay. You shouldn't say that.
Right.
Just because, you know what I'm saying, and you being an asshole. Just kind of like with the Godfrey thing, with the whole, you know, that security guard that we talked about a couple episodes ago. Okay. I just think they just use it to hide behind as a shield, and then they want to enforce stuff on us.
Yeah.
Like that, that's like fascism. Right. I mean, literally fascism.
Yeah.
You gotta, you know, you want us to be shaped and molded and think a certain way. You know, you can't be doing that shit.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of y'all, man, y'all was in the 90s, 80s and shit. A bunch of pussies, man. Bunch of pussies.
Hey, and don't think we trying to bash nobody. You know, we not, man. You know,
it's all in love, man.
Yeah. I have high respect for everybody who, you know, does whatever they do. You know, that's your business. But you know what I mean. You know, I think it is all about how you go about doing stuff. So you know, but yeah. So you know, but the Dave Chappelle, he tackles a lot of those issues. You know, he talks about the LGBTQ, and it's hilarious. And he talks about how some of them rock with him and some of them don't. You know what I mean? Some of them are like, yeah, your stuff is hilarious. I don't care if you talk about it. It's all in fun. And he was like, some of them hate his fucking guts. So, you know, it's a dope thing, man. So, and then, I don't know if you saw it, after the Sticks and Stones go off, there's another little like 20 or 30 minute commentary thing where he comes back out on stage and lets people ask him questions. Did you see that part?
I didn't see that. I did see that there was a little part. I'm gonna watch it again and probably catch that.
Yeah, it's good, man. Definitely go check it out, because he just gives the audience a chance to ask him whatever they want. You know what I mean? And he answers and, you know, kind of jokes around with them, and you know, it's really good. So I can't even front, man. I loved it. So I don't know why everybody's giving him such a hard time, and I think it's because he's outspoken in a day and age where you're supposed to be politically soft-spoken. Everybody's supposed to be so PC about whatever they say, and he's like, nah, fuck that. He screams out the word faggot. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not about to be scared to use a word, you know what I mean? Just
that was awesome how he did that, when he talked about, like, you know, he went up to the lady, it's like, you know, I didn't know you could use faggot.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you can't use the word faggot.
Yeah, that was
because it's like, yeah, so I can use gratuitous uses of the N-word. I can say nigga all day, but I can't say faggot. It's like, well, Dave, you cannot say faggot because you're not gay. It's like, well, I'm not a nigga neither.
I'm not a nigga.
That was that, yo, when he did it, I was like, matter of fact, let's clap that shit up. Yes, sir. We need that.
Oh, yeah,
we needed that.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
He talked about Kevin Hart and his situation with the Oscars, so that was a good moment because, you know, he just showed you, you know, just how foolish the whole thing was, you know what I mean? So, and we already knew, but it was good that he tackled the issue of how foolish it was. So, I really enjoyed it, man. I'm going to go back and watch it again because it's so good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, he deserves... you know, all the props and you know, I hope he's getting a good check off of that. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. They got that money, boy.
Yeah, man.
They gonna be like, I'm rich, I ain't rich, bitch. I'm rich.
Yeah, man.
I'm rich, bitch.
Somebody had asked him in the commentary thing, they asked him about Charlie Murphy, and that was pretty good. He talks about quite a few subjects, so yeah, it's really good, man. But yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much all our topics for the day, right?
Yeah, man. I think we had a pretty good show. We want to appreciate those who watched us and everything. Yeah, give a clap out to them. Awesome.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Yep,
appreciate all of y'all.
Yep.
So, you know, keep tuning in. Instagram trying to pause on us like,
man, mother.
Instagram, like, I thought I told y'all. Instagram, like, I thought I told y'all to stop.
We good, man. We good. They gotta understand.
But we ain't gonna stop. Not just because y'all want us to. We're gonna have to do like Puffy. I thought I told you that. We won't stop. I thought I told you that. We won't stop. Take that. But yeah, so thank y'all again for tuning in. to Try It Hip Hop Podcast. We are going to do this every week. Don't forget, check out the YouTube channel so you can see all the extra content that you don't get to see on Facebook and Instagram.
The lyrical breakdown.
Got the lyrical breakdown.
Lost in Thought.
Lost
and
in Thought.
those are the two things that we got right now. We might have some more stuff in the future.
Definitely got some more.
Definitely check it out.
Yeah, man. Every weekend we throw something in there. Really need y'all to support that. So keep on doing that. Facebook. Thank y'all. And let me just make this real quick PSA. We got a lot of people who jump on our Facebook page trying to follow the page, but then when we let y'all asses in, all y'all want to do is promote your podcast and shit. We don't need that shit. No. We need y'all to support our podcast. There's people who don't watch this fucking show one day out of the week and just want to keep posting about their shit. Post some of our shit.
We want one thing I would say though, we want to shout out Doe to Don, because even though he got his content up here, he does kind of check out the podcast and post with us. So shout out to my man there. You know what I'm
definitely, man. We know who the real supporters are. You know what I mean? It's just these fake people who get in and all they do is throw up a post about their show or they podcast, and then you don't hear shit else from
them. And some of your shit is whack.
Right.
Just to be honest.
Yeah.
Shit whack.
It's whack, son.
Just whack sauce.
Whack. So chill out with that, because we're going to start blocking your asses in a minute, man. But anyway, man, we're going to cut the episode. We appreciate y'all again. And this is episode 88. You sucker!